Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be checking out something called Daymare by developer Matthias Skutnik. It's a very pretty, very beautifully drawn adventure game with some puzzle platformy type elements to them. I mean, it's not that they're the predominant thing. I think probably the most predominant thing is the exploration element. But this definitely does have that adventure game feeling to it, and when you combine that with the really cool music, which you'll see eventually, or rather hear eventually, and a really lovely art aesthetic, I think this is actually a game that you guys are going to really love. I'm also told that it comes from a series of other games that I'm not sure to what degree they play similarly, but there is a small universe surrounding this one. So, without taking too long in the menu here, let's start things up and give it a try. So this, I have to say, this isn't my first time. I actually did spend about a half an hour with this one last night, just because I didn't want to get stuck on a puzzle or something and have that moment where everybody gets really mad because I forgot to pull a lever or something like that. Regardless, the game's not particularly long. I'd say it's probably something like 10 to 20 minutes long if you know where you're going. And if you get a little bit meandery and lost, there's a good chance you could spend a little longer than that. So I will sort of walk us through, and I guess I'll probably have to stop a little bit shy of the ending just because I don't want to spoil all the puzzles. I do like to leave a reason for you guys to try things out here. So the directionals are really, or the arrow keys I should say, are really all you have to worry about in terms of controls here. We started on the left, there wasn't anything there. We moved to the right, we hit a lever. We can jump with up, control stuff with down, left and right to move. And we're just going to be looking around to see what we can find. You'll notice, of course, this beautiful art aesthetic. Everything is rendered in this sort of like somewhere between off-white and cream-colored background, with very fine lines and just suggestive strokes. As you can see in the background there, it's suggesting a possible tree. And then in the the mid to foreground, we've got shadows and little details and such, almost in like a stippling technique. Maybe a little bit more. What's the other one? It's not cross-hatching, but when it's just like just hatching. I guess it's just hatching. Which, it looks really lovely. I think it's a very refined, very pretty art style, and it doesn't have to be too complicated. I think really the stuff in the foreground is all you really have to think about too much, and it does a good job of emphasizing what is actually important going on here. But then you have occasional details like this where I'm not really sure what it is that we're looking at. So in the background, it looks kind of like there's a sun up in the sky, right? But then you're not really sure if it's really outside or not, and then you realize some of the shadows don't quite make sense, because the shadow should be on this side of this weird little tree stump thingy, instead of on the opposite side where, the sun is casting light from. Regardless, that's not really a very big deal. I mean, I'm really just talking about the art style, but it's very interesting regardless. I don't have any problems with it. So we move our way over to the left. There happens to be a key up here, so let's grab that and put it in our little faux inventory down at the bottom. And I'm pretty sure you guys can figure out in short order what we're supposed to do with that. So there seems to be a door right here that we can't get into. So what do we do about doors we can't get into? We use keys. That is what we do. So let's head into this little grotto here. There's some lovely silhouette effect. And I have to say the animation on everything here is really smooth as well. And it gives you a really nice feeling, a nice vibe. And there's not a lot going on right now in terms of sound effects. It's pretty sparse. But I find that actually adds to the sense of tension to some degree. It doesn't need to go too far over the top, and there is definitely some musical element to this. It's just we have to get to that point, and at first we just go with, again, very sparse auditory feedback here. So we've got what appears to be our first little minor platforming challenge. You'll notice there's a bunch of what look like vines hanging upside down. Those are actually platforms that we'll have to flip over, and anything below us right now, including that kind of looks like a magical cockroach or something, seems to be, off in the background or something. If you fall off of this, it's not really that you're going to get punished. You just respawn at the last point you touched solid ground, it seems to be. So we'll move our way to the right. We've got some very smoothly animating little poles with like an atom at the top of each one or something. I'm not sure what that's about exactly, but looks nice. I should mention, of course, this is totally free. It's a browser-based game. You can feel free to jump right in and try it yourself. And I'm actually very impressed that this is totally free. I could see if you added a little bit more to this, it could easily be a game I would pay, $3 for or something like that. Got another little lever, and you can see off in the background there that actually flipped over one of those vine platforms, which is to give us the indication that that is what's going on universally. And you can see those little flags all over the place are what indicates whether or not something has been moved or ticked off or changed or whatnot. So now, as you can see, there's actually some platforms leading upward, and there actually appears to be an item up at the top, so we're going to do our best to go up there. And you may not notice, actually, that this is something you can interact with, which is, I guess, sort of the one thing that you could have an issue with, just that, like, some of the receding stuff in the background, you're not sure if it's receding or not. But, like, just a little bit of trial and error, you're going to figure that out. And this is a case of a situation that I have with a lot of different types of adventure games, that sometimes you find that the end of the room isn't actually the end, you just don't know what you're looking for. So you may get stuck sort of incidentally just for a little while because you're not sure that you can actually interact with something or not. Generally, you can solve that problem by just pressing down on a lot of stuff, but at times, for example, right here, I didn't realize that you could walk behind this pillar, so for the longest time I was thinking, well, there's nothing more to see over here, so I guess I have to go up, which is true, but now that I've gone over to the right, that actually spoils it a little bit, so sorry for that. So our goal, and I haven't talked about our goal, but our goal is to basically find these, I think it's the 5 records, I'm going to assume they're 5 to correspond with these pipes, toss them on their respective record players and let the music flow, and once we've activated all those pipes, I assume we'll be able to go through this door, and from there it is entirely unknown to me. But my job so far has just been looking for all the records, and I haven't been able to find all of them. I did find this little pyramidal keystone type deal, though. I'm not sure what that's about. We'll see if we can put that to good use somewhere. There's actually quite a bit of meat to this game, just in the fact that there's a lot of pretty art everywhere, and there's a lot of different rooms to explore. And they don't necessarily connect the way that you would expect them to, which is kind of a nice little surprise. So what rooms haven't I walked into? I don't think I've gone in here yet, right? So that would be our first record, which we've now added to our inventory. So the temptation would be, let's toss the record on the record player. Just so the music's going to start playing. I'm not going to stop talking, but it'll serve as a nice backdrop for whatever's going on here. And you'll see that now is going to add the first pipe now has the music flowing freely from it. And somehow I'm supposed to get up above, but in order to do that I'm going to need to flip over this platform because right now there's not a thing I can do about it. So I guess we'll have to continue our search for a little bit. So I still have the keystone, and I'm not sure where else I can put that to use, so I guess we'll have to do a little bit of backtracking and see what there is off in one of the other directions. Music, by the way, is really, really lovely. I have no complaints about it whatsoever. It really complements what's going on here in this sort of whimsical Alice in Wonderland style adventure. You really have no idea what's going to come out next. Alright, so we'll head, I guess, back into here. I don't really remember what I'm supposed to do with this keystone, or pyramid stone, whatever it is. Can I use it over on this side? Maybe I can put it on top of this pedestal? No. There does seem to be a little arrowy type figure down at the bottom. Not sure what that's supposed to indicate, actually. It doesn't really seem to indicate a whole lot. And I don't believe you can go back down once you've come up here. Once this platform has raised us up, we're kind of stuck at this point, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But there is a way to get down there, just not via that direction. Alright, so I must have passed whatever it is I'm supposed to use that on. Oh, you know what? I just remembered what I'm supposed to use it on. I did literally just walk in front of it and leave. My fault. It's not this. We need to go through here and back over to the right, past all the pillars, and we put it right here. And then that flips over that for us, so I was actually standing right in front of the thing, and I totally forgot. Alright, so now we've got some kind of horrifying balloon beast monster down in the pit below us. The Sarlacc pit, I suppose. I'm not sure. You would think, generally looking at something like that, it looks pretty imposing. Like, you probably wouldn't want to get involved with touching something that looks like it's got teeth that are ready to eat you. Oh, found another record. And we'll be able to take this back. Can I fall under? No. I like to test that a lot of the time, because occasionally you can actually do that. And actually, you're supposed to just fall into that thing's mouth. Well, it looks like I've already spoiled about 3/4 of the game. It does go by kind of fast, and we've got 2 records now. And this is going to send us out in an unexpected place. Not actually sure where we're supposed to be at this point. Oh, I'm not sure I wanted to fall down there necessarily. What's up and to the left? Oh, there's a mystery record player right here. I didn't even know about this one. And Is there anything? Nope, nothing over to that end. Still noting the backgrounds here are very lovely. I've enjoyed them all going through it so far. I mean, just enjoying the art. Oh, another record. Enjoying the art has been like half the fun for me. Of course, the other half being, you know, looking for stuff and seeing how you can interact with this very mysterious, very strange, surreal world. It's definitely got some alien qualities, but it doesn't come across as being necessarily as imposing as you might think. Which is kind of a funny balance to go through. Oh, this door, I can open that. Okay, cool. And there's another record player here, so I guess if I pop this record down, I guess we're going to just jump right to the next song. That last one was a little bit boring anyway. Well, maybe boring isn't the right word, but monotonous. Okay, I just need to land on the right platforms here. There we go. And we still got another record. So what do we have left? 2 more? There's the pipe here on the right and the pipe in the top left middle. I'm gonna have to go back into the little grotto area. I'm pretty sure I missed something there. I want to do something with these little atom pillars. They seem so cool. But I'm not sure what they are. I love that there's just random, like, laundry hanging here. I mean, it gives the impression that there's people living here, but it's also sort of populated by this crazy alien botanical stuff. I think this is probably one of my favorite tracks, but unfortunately I'm going to move it on to the next one. And you know what? This is probably a good point to wrap up the episode, because I'm not actually 100% sure where the last record is. And hopefully I don't stumble on it by accident, but if we look back at the pipes now, they should be 4 out of 5 complete. Yep, so there's just the one left right here. So I will leave that up to you guys to figure out. I really do hate spoiling all the puzzles, and for those of you who watch, to see me progress completely through a game and sort of like chronicle or archive what an indie game is, then, you know, unfortunately I feel like I'm letting you down a little bit, but at the same time, you know, I do want to give an opportunity to let the game still have some surprises for people who are playing them through. I mean, ideally, that's sort of the way that I envision this, and I had a little brief comment exchange with someone about this the other day, that ideally I like to do this sort of like an indie game book club, where we can all experience and enjoy these little things together, and I don't want to spoil it all completely for anyone, but, you know, occasionally I do finish the games entirely, which I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but sometimes it just feels like the way it has to go, because I want to see how something ends, or it's maybe too short for me to speak on if I don't do that. So I guess I'll just keep meandering around looking at all these crazy things. I really like this part too, where you go down in here and it's just completely switched. The whole polarity of the world has gone from this bright, colorful, or maybe not colorful is the right word, but this bright, value-wise, you know, stark-looking appeal to all of a sudden everything is silhouetted and dark and mysterious. It just shows that the artist has a good mastery of being able to use both values and have them complement each other. I also really like that the sprite on the main character is actually darker for that sequence too. It would be kind of cool to see it like a gradient as you get closer to the light, just to reveal a little bit more, but at the same time, a lot of the animation's so nice, who can complain? I wonder what I'm missing here. I'm really not 100% sure what places I haven't been. But obviously I haven't been somewhere, so again, I'll leave that for you guys to figure out. So this has been Daymare Cat, definitely recommended, 2 thumbs up. The link's going to be right in the description if you guys want to check it out. Feel free, the developer's website actually, like I said, has a bunch of other things that happen in this universe, so you may want to investigate those as well. I guess I'll just keep doing a loop-de-loop through the insides of this weird monster. But yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed the art style to this and the exploratory qualities. I'm not really one that's super keen on all the adventure games out there, but I think this one actually does it really nicely. It's a nice balance between the puzzle element, the wandering element, the exploration, the surrealness of it all, and just the general vibe of it all, I think, comes together pretty well, pretty cohesively, and that's something that I'm often looking for. And what often aids me to have a good time in a game is when I feel like it's a total package. And not every game can make that claim, but I feel like this one does. Did you notice when I stood still for a moment? Yeah, the sprite seems to drift to the left just a little bit, and I'm not sure what that's about. Although, it's only when I... Alright, so when I walk left to right, she doesn't do that, but when I walk right to left, and the sprite flips, As you can see, the one eye that has the hair mostly over it changes places, so when you flip to the left and you move from right to left, then she drifts for, I don't know, like 5 or 10 pixels or something. It's a little funny observation. I wonder what causes that. Probably just some little thing with the script or something, or I don't know, who knows. Could be a number of different issues, or maybe not even issues, just the way that the code is written. Kind of a little funny thing to notice. Anyway, that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I will give you the abbreviated plugs here. I've been trying to do them a little bit shorter because I know that does tend to ramble on a little bit. But if you'd like to check out more in the series, there are over 430 different episodes of this now, and more to come every single day. But I have a website, indie-impressions.com, where I keep everything neatly archived and sortable for you. So if you want to look at a specific genre, or distribution method, payment style, or anything, like if you just want to browse all the free games or all the Desert or Steam games, you can do that right over at indie-impressions.com. So I urge you to do so. It'd be really cool if you want to go and check it out. I've also got a Facebook page for the series, facebook.com/indieimpressions, where if you'd like to stay up on all the new news that's going on, that's a quick way to do that. And I've got a Twitter handle, which is @RockLeeSmile, so if you want to tweet me about anything that's going on, send me a suggestion, recommendation, comment, or question, that's a very quick way to start a dialogue. So do feel free, and that goes for anybody. If you want to just say, hey, send me a picture of your cat, or, send me an indie game recommendation, that's all fair game. I also do have a contact form at indie-impressions.com, so if you're an indie dev or just a viewer and you want to suggest a game for me to try on the channel, best way to reach me for, a more in-depth conversation would be send me an email at that contact form. Again, indie-impressions.com is where that's at. So without things getting too protracted here, I will bring this episode to a close. Thank you, as always, for watching. Please do make sure you come back again tomorrow for another episode. I do a new one every single day. So with your support, the show will continue to grow, reach more people, help promote discussion on indie games, and if you do want to help me out, best thing you could possibly do, just recommend the show to a friend. That's really all I could ask. But I do appreciate all the support. Make sure you leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this game, what you enjoyed, what you didn't enjoy, what you might do differently, or what you would do to improve it, or change it if you wanted to change it, or, if you think it's perfect, let me know that as well. But that is going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a lovely night.